Good morning, my darlings. Welcome to a new vlog. I've got a really good feeling about this vlog. It's going to be such a lovely couple of days. Today is Friday and it's a beautiful day, and I've just got lots of really nice, wholesome things that I'd like to get done over the next couple of days, which of course I will bring you along for. I want to add some autumn touches to the house, even though it's only early September. Haven't quite decided how heavy we're going to go on the decoration, but when I'm in doubt I just bring in plants and natural things, and I feel like that's always a subtle way of switching things up a little bit in the house. But I've also actually got my boxes out of the garage which contain, oh, that looks like a really big spider's leg. I think it's the top of a pumpkin. These boxes, I've got another one down there, contain last year's autumnal decor pieces. So I want to just, even if I don't put them all out, just do a little bit of a stock take. I'm hoping as well in here that I've got a pumpkin shaped cookie cutter, because I saw a video on Instagram of someone doing the most amazing loaf cake and it had like a pumpkin. You'll see. We will do it at some point, even if I have to order a pumpkin cutter from the World Wide Web. I've also ordered a few plug plants for the kitchen garden, so I want to get those in the ground this weekend. I've been saying I need to make my 𝘿𝙬𝒅 𝙒𝙢 for the last week, so I really need to do that. There's just so many lovely things that I want to do with you guys, and also seeing as it's lovely and sunny, I really would love to make an autumn wreath. Haven't decided if I'm going to do apples and wheat and barley, or if I'm going to do a classic hydrangea wreath, because we don't have anything hanging up above the 𝑭𝒂 right now, so we need to fill that gap. But let's have a little rummage in here. So I think I got these really nice, quite tasteful velvety pumpkins. I think I got these from Mrs. Alice. I actually think that it's too early for pumpkin decor, because I love September for like hints of autumn and harvest theme and bringing in slightly deeper colours. Like if you watched the last vlog, you'll have seen that we put together this kind of area here. It's nothing groundbreaking at all, but just switching out the pelargoniums for this ikigai plant. I thought that looked really nice, just a deeper colour. And then we also put in these deep green candles. This is the heirloom tomato from Flamingo Estate. So I love how this area looks, but I might just add a few more seasonal touches. I don't think that these are too OTT. These are quite subtle. My little white ceramic pumpkins. Everything that's still available to buy, I will leave it linked in the description box down below. Ooh. Oh, I forgot about these. I got these from Anthropologie last year. Just a sweet little glass kind of table decor pumpkin. I think that's an onion. And this one looks like a pomegranate. I've got absolutely loads of these beautiful velvet pumpkins, but I think I'm going to wait until October to bring these out into the house. But the other bits that are a bit more subtle, I think I will bring out today. For some reason, my regular cookie cutters have ended up in my autumn decor box. That's random. Ah! So not exactly what I was looking for, but I guess this will work. I don't know what this is for. Maybe more like a press on top of a pie to get a pumpkin shape, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to use this for cutting out a pumpkin shape. We'll give that a go. I've also got an apple shape and a lovely acorn. Aha! I forgot about this. I have this glass mug, which is a little bit pumpkin-esque. And then I've got another box here which is too heavy to lift up on the kitchen counter. And in here I've got these. I think I must have got these from potentially a garden centre. I really, really like those, but again, I think it's just too early. Let me know, are you doing this level of decoration yet? I think it's too early for full-on pumpkins. I've got the Anthropologie wooden kind of candle boxes that I got last year that somehow I did not manage to burn all the way through. I'll tell you the truth, actually. I don't love the smell of these. I actually find them too sickly sweet. So I feel like I might just light it outside. And I really love the pots. I think they're such cute little containers. They'd be sweet to keep matches in, or even just put little nuts in for when you've got friends and family coming over. So I do think they're sweet to look at, but they are too sweet to smell. I also got the giant one, which may seem silly having just said that I don't like the smell of them. Oh gosh. I think if you stop being surrounded by too many sweet things, like if I ever get in a taxi and they've got an air freshener dangly thing, I have to open the windows. I just find it headache inducing, and I think you build up a tolerance or an intolerance to the kind of chemicaliness of these smells, and once you start to cut them out of your life, you start to get a bit, you know, it's hard to describe. I'm sure some people will know what I'm talking about. This is honestly like Christmas, so I can't remember half of these things. I've got these sweet little casserole dishes. Yeah, these are from Next Home. Again, I'll try and link everything as much as I can. Fantastic for little dinner parties. You could put, ooh, you could do like a little bite-sized bit of apple crumble and put some cinnamon ice cream in these. That would be lovely. And I actually got the larger ones as well if you are serving soup or a stew, or you're doing a roast and you want to put roast potatoes in a dish like this. So these, I think I will keep out in the dining room. This is nice, yes. This is lovely for serving cakes if you do a nice spiced pumpkin loaf. Again, this was from Anthropology, and obviously it's pumpkin shaped and it's got very subtle little gold lines in it. A little white one, and the big boy, the big daddy. Amazing for a big stew, a big casserole. Oh, just so yummy. So there we go. That is, I think that's everything. I mentioned in the last vlog I did have a green pumpkin mug with little white flowers on it. Don't know where that is. I didn't have it last season either. It's either been taken by my husband to a charity shop. He's so naughty. If he doesn't see me use something in a while, then he'll be like, oh, she doesn't need this anymore, and he'll take it to a charity shop. We are not amused. Or it's deep within the depths of the garage, which is also quite likely. So I'm going to put away these big boys and the majority of the velvet pumpkins. Actually, should we just see how they look by the fireplace? Let's just see. That's subtle. I think we'll get away with that. We've also popped a little bit of wheat into this vase here. It did have hydrangeas in, but it's now got wheat in it. And this is something that we've had here for a couple of years now, and it's amazing. It's a solid bronze apple. We got this as a little gift when we stayed at the Newt for New Year's a couple of years ago, and it's an amazing little kind of paperweight or book putter downer. Now, would it be too much? Obviously we need something in the cake tin, the cake stand, but we'll sort that out a little bit later. Okay, I'm really happy with those little touches, and we're going to head out into the garden now and get a few more kind of natural bits. Dexy has been giving me serious puppy dog eyes the whole time I've been chatting to you, because we had a different dog delivery, which is the food that we give them, and even the noise, he's like, Mummy? This month's box, we ordered a few more to keep the boys happy. So I'm gonna give you 100% British turkey breast with a sprinkling of thyme. Speaking of turkey, Different Dog have just released their Christmas range for 2025, and you boys are going to love it. If you've got this is not an ad for Different Dog, if you have got a very fussy puppy at home or very fussy dogs and you want them to have really high quality dog food that's real food, not UPF dog food, then Different Dog is amazing. The ingredients, I would literally eat their food myself. It is so good. These are without doubt the boys' absolute favourite treats. I do have a kind of always on discount code with Different Dog, which I think is 40% off your first box. It's amazing. I'll leave that link down below. Now, before we head out and do some bits outside, I'm going to make myself an oat milk chai pumpkin latte. I'm going to try to recreate what I had in London the other day. I've run out of my proper big carton of oat milk, so luckily I've got these little sachets that I take with me on summer holidays in the garage. I just found them upon taking back the leftover pumpkins, so I'll show you really quickly how I do it. And I do have my chai and my pumpkin syrup recipes on YouTube Shorts and TikTok, so you can see the full recipe for the sauces there. Sauces? Syrups. So this may be a little bit of an unconventional way of doing it, but I'm going to try it this way. I've got my pumpkin spice syrup, which is quite strong. I made this in the last vlog, so I'm just going to add about a teaspoon and a half worth of this. The reason I only made a small amount is because it's made with fresh pumpkin puree, so I don't want it to go off, so I'll just make it in batches. Then this is my chai syrup. Oh, that smells so spicy, and also very strong and concentrated, so you don't need much. And then in here I have got a chai tea. I'm going to let that brew for just a few more moments while the milk froths. Okay, here we go. Lovely chai tea. And a dash of pumpkin pie spice. So thanks to my pumpkin-y mixture and the pumpkin pie spice, it'll give it just a subtle note, a note of pumpkin. And that's my delicious pumpkin pie spice latte. Yummy. So I have never ordered plug plants from an online website before, so I was a bit intrigued as to how they would arrive. Surely these are just going to be such stressed out little plants. But we've got some 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 plugs here. I need to get these in the ground pretty sharpish. Some of the leaves are already going a bit yellow. I think what I'll do is just rest them in a bowl of water. There we go. I'll let them have a little drink while I prepare an area in the garden. First of all, I'm going to do the pretty job of sorting the hydrangeas. Okay, I have harvested a load of Hydrangea mop heads. You can see they're just starting to dry out outside. There's a few brown petals, but I don't really mind. And then I've got this willow wreath base, which I picked up from Burford Garden Centre a couple of weeks ago. And what I'm going to do is start to take a mop head, snip it with just a few inches of stem, and then remove any leaves from the remaining stem, including any tiny ones that are just under the mop head. And you can use a wire, but I actually find that you can just poke them in like so, just kind of weave them in with the, and start to build up your wreath. The hydrangea wreath is complete. It's not perfectly round, it's certainly not symmetrical, but that really doesn't matter. That's the great thing about nature. There are a few little stems that are a bit long, so I'm just going to give those a trim. And we also need to figure out which way is the top. You kind of want to do this in front of a mirror, just holding it up a few different directions to figure out which is the best top bit. And then take a little bit of twine, find a loop on a fairly sturdy looking bit at the back of the wreath, and then find a place to hang it. I feel like this big stretch of wall above the 𝑭𝒂𝒕𝒖𝒓𝒆𝒅 could take something even bigger, but for now it's nice to bring that little kind of end of summer, early autumn hint from the garden into the kitchen, and this hopefully will dry out really nicely. Fingers crossed. Okay, the greenhouse is tidied and watered, and I'm gonna go and do my 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 prep work and figure out the cover that's gonna hopefully protect it from caterpillars, pigeons, butterflies and everything in a moment. But first of all, something really exciting has just arrived, and I know that this is going to upset a few people because of the time of year that it is and what this is, but if I don't tell you about this now, it will sell out and then you'll be really sad. I have just taken delivery of my it's a really strong statement, but it is my favorite of the beauty advent calendars. I know, advent calendars, it seems bonkers to some people. Where we are right now is still summer. I would definitely say we are in autumn now. I defined my seasons a couple of vlogs ago: September, October, November, autumn, December, Christmas. So yeah, I know it's summer to some people, autumn to most of us, but we have to start planning ahead, especially when it comes to the best of the beauty advent calendars. The reason I'm sitting here is so that I have enough space next to me, because this one is an absolute, there's not even an, I'm gonna have to move you back. This is the 2025 Look Fantastic Beauty Advent Calendar. This is the biggest and the best one that they have ever done, and a lot of brands are hopping on the beauty advent calendar bandwagon right now, and I love it. But Look Fantastic are one of the OGs. This is the 10th year of their beauty advent calendar, which is amazing, and this year I actually am flabbergasted at the value of this. So this is on the website right now. The pre-orders are open, so pause the video, I'll leave a link and you can go and pop your name down for the pre-orders of this. This is £105 to purchase, but the products inside are worth nearly £700. Over £650 worth of products inside this, including 17 full-size products, which I think is amazing. So every single day throughout Advent in December, you have something lovely to look forward to, a treat that you can either keep for yourself. If it's something that you've never tried before, it's a great way of trying something new, or topping up your travel products, or if you're feeling very generous, then if it's something that you already know that you love and you think that your mum or your sister or your husband might love it, then you can obviously onward gift the beauty products that are inside. So let's take a little sneak peek. It is in the most beautiful, very festive, kind of berryish, almost like a deep raspberry red. This is absolutely crazy. I won't open every single door because that would just be spoiling the surprise, but I feel like we just need to have a little look at some of the goodies in here. I have discovered so many favourites thanks to the Look Fantastic Beauty Advent Calendar in the past. It was thanks to this calendar last year, I'm pretty sure it was the Colour Wow shampoo and conditioner set, that I'd not tried Colour Wow before that, and or was it the Little Mist? Can't remember. It was something from Colour Wow, and ever since then I have been a huge fan of the brand. So good for product discovery. Can I just say, number 18 is ginormous. Can you see how big that is? But I'm not going to spoil that surprise. Actually, I'm going to look, but I'm not going to tell you. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe what is behind door number 18. That is like a full Christmas gift in itself. Holy moly. Okay, I have not pre-looked in any of these. I like the number 6. Let's open up number 6. What do we have here? Glow Hub Buff Blush Glow Up Colour Stick. That looks amazing. So this is a brand that I have not heard of before, have not tried before, and that's what's so great about these calendars, the discovery. Look at this. Is this a cream blusher? See, this is a full-size product. It's literally Christmas every single day. So many lovely treats, and that is such a gorgeous colour. Okay, Glow Hub, I'm going to be checking that out on Look Fantastic. And also Look Fantastic, it's just the best place for beauty gifts in general. They always have the most amazing selection. Whenever I'm doing my top-ups, I get all of my essentials from there, like my shampoos and conditioners, my micellar waters, even my hairbrush, my heatless curler. It's all from, not that I've used it, it's all from Look Fantastic, and you can always use my discount code, which is JosieLF, which will get you, sometimes it's like 5%, sometimes it's 15%, it'll always get you a discount on your favorites. So JosieLF, pop that code in anytime you place a beauty order and you'll save yourself some money. Let's see, 15 is my lucky number. Ooh, see, these are expensive. Eye Therapy Under Eye Mask, 15th of December. I think that's like a Monday or something. What a great excuse to just have a, I'm thinking about Vlogmas now. There are some really exciting things happening in December, and I think maybe something very exciting happening on the 15th, but that is my excuse to have a pamper night on that evening with the hydrating eye masks, which, let's be honest, with all the activities going on in December, we are going to need at least one pamper evening. Day number 20. There's 2 in here. Oh my gosh. It's Colour Wow. So this is the Colour Security shampoo and conditioner. That's amazing. I love having this size in my gym bag and in my travel bag. I've had goodies from last year's advent calendars that have been my travel versions all throughout the year. So for example, I had an 𝑭𝒆 toner from the advent calendar last year, and that has been my travel skincare toner for the whole of 2025. Number 17 was my dad's lucky number. What do we have here? Ooh, another brand that I've not heard of before, glycolic acid rejuvenating face exfoliator. That looks like a really premium, lovely brand. Something that I may not have naturally just added to my basket, but if I love this, then they might just have a new brand convert. Okay, I'm doing quite a big one here, day number 10. This is heavy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I know that Charlie loves this. I'm very tempted to keep this, but I will be a good wife because this is the 𝑭𝒆 Overnight Hydration Therapy. It is technically a mask, but I know that Charlie just uses this like a night cream. 𝑭𝒆 is such a lovely brand, and they have, I think, pretty much the full collection on Look Fantastic. This is amazing. I'm sure by itself this is probably like £50, if not more. Amazing. And speaking of Charlie, this is actually not the only advent calendar that Look Fantastic are doing this year. They've got a grooming calendar, which would be amazing if your husband gets FOMO when you're opening your calendar. There's also a fragrance calendar. I will leave the full calendar page linked down below. One more. I'm opening up number 2. Oh my gosh, another full-size product. Strengthening leave-in repair treatment from 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅. Often we don't splurge on things like hair masks for ourselves. I know that it's something that I really need to get better at putting into my regular routine, but if you receive one in your advent calendar, then that's the perfect excuse for a lovely treat. And 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 is such a lovely brand. That's a gorgeous treat for the 2nd of December. I won't do any more because I really don't want to spoil it, but this is just incredible. I can't quite get over £655 value of the products that are in here, yours for £105, which is amazing. But as I said, this does sell out because it is such good value. So I'll leave the link in the description box down below if you would like to treat yourself or a loved one to this calendar this Christmas. Oh my gosh. I promise I'm not going to mention Christmas again for at least the rest of this vlog. I can't promise that future Josie won't. But yeah, what a wonderful treat and something to really look forward to opening throughout December. Okay, slightly rogue decision, but I've just popped on my pedal pushers. It's so dorky, but great for gardening. And something else that was in the post today, new pair of, I think they call them the gardening clogs from Holland Cooper. They are so perfect. So I've got the green pair, which have got the lighter Sherpa inside, but these are full chocolate brown with the HC logo, and then a chocolate Sherpa lining. These are so amazing for just slipping on if you need to dash into the garden. I do sometimes wear them on dog walks, but because they don't have any ankle support, I'm a bit of a liability, so it's normally just for those times when I need to pop out and you can't bother to deal with things like laces or even having to bend down. So really, really excited to have a new pair of these, and they do give me a little height boost, which is perfect. So I know I'll get a lot of wear out of those. I've also had another plug plant delivery. I placed 2 orders, one from Etsy and one from a company called Rocket Gardens. And they've also sent a little guide on how to plant out your plugs, and it's literally everything that we've done. So unpack them, give them a drink. It does say only 2 to 3 minutes. My kale has been in that water for a couple of hours. And then plant them straight away, keep them watered, nice and easy. Let's go out to the greenhouse and we'll have a little look through these other little plugs. You might be thinking, Josie, you sow so much from seed. Well, yeah, I did do loads of kale from seed, and then I planted it out and then it got eaten. So this really is my last chance, the last opportunity that I have to have kale this autumn, and I am determined to have homegrown kale. Well, look at this. So many seedlings ready to go out. We've got, this is a type of pak choi, and then we've got some giant winter spinach here, a red Russian kind of kale, another kind of kale, my 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, sorry, that's broccoli, 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, which is my favorite kind of kale, especially for autumn winter recipes, and then we've got another pak choi here. So loads of seedlings, and as always, I wish I had 10 more raised beds so I had even more room to plant them out. So let's go and see where these are all going to go. So this was me thinking that this kind of protection would work over my kale. As you can see, it has not worked, because even though I've got a lovely 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 plant here trying its absolute hardest, what it really needs is netting over it. I have got, kind of annoyingly, a pumpkin here. I got really carried away with pumpkins, and I know this probably won't work, but I'm quite tempted to move it. To be honest, I'm willing to sacrifice this pumpkin for my kale, and this seems to be the best place. Although, having said that, it will be quite ugly. The netting. Yeah, it will be quite ugly, but do you know what? I don't really mind. I'm just so desperate to grow good kale this year. So yeah, we've also got some kohlrabi here, but I would say actually that's ready to be harvested. Let's start by moving this pumpkin. Sorry, pumpkin. I've also got some beans growing up there. Right, we're gonna have to do some sorting. Other option is to use this strip here, but we'd have the same issue. Like, look, this has grown so well, but it's just been eaten alive by butterflies. So that one has to really come out. That one, I don't think that's gonna grow very well. Shame, because it would have been such a nice variety. This is why you wanna grow things from seed and not have to do what I've done. I've learnt my lesson though, I just need to cover things properly next year. I look at some people's gardens that live in different parts of the country and they can just leave it out and doesn't get bothered by pests at all, and I'm very jealous. If that's you, I'm very, very jealous. But yeah, look at this, it's been completely ravaged. Such a shame. So I think this one's going to have to come out. Ooh, choices. Do you know what? I'm going to start with a big old tidy. I'm going to bring the green bins down here, have a big tidy, and then once I've done that, we should be able to determine where we can put the kale. Ooh, I just want to show you this. My first, it's not quite big enough to chop yet, my first tromboncini of the year. Hallelujah. I'm also growing butternut squash, but I don't think we've got any of those showing any signs yet, but it won't be long. How exciting. The autumn squash are coming through. There's a little baby tromboncini, and I saw another one somewhere. Oh yeah, can you see it down there? Teeny weeny baby tromboncini. Cute. And over here, we've got pumpkins. And we've got climbing pumpkins. Did you know pumpkins could climb? Because I certainly did not. Okay, so I've added the fleece over the top of the bamboo canes, and yes, my kale is protected. However, you might be able to spot I'm having to use a marrow to hold it down on this end. It doesn't look quite as bad as it did before I cut away the excess, but it still doesn't look great, does it? It's a bit of a monstrosity. I know I said that it didn't matter that much at this time of year because we don't come down here as much in the colder months, but the aesthetics of the garden is still really, really important to me, and this is such an eyesore. So I'd really, really love any of you guys that have got recommendations. If you've got photographic recommendations, maybe you've done something better in your garden, please email them to me, because I just need ideas. I'm not happy with how this looks, and this is definitely not the proper solution. I have had a quick look online, and you can get these things called like garden umbrellas, and they're just kind of like a square, like imagine a square umbrella that you pop up and it plops over the top of your plant. I'm wondering whether to get one of those and put it in this corner here. I need to pull up those onions and try the other kale there. I just don't know. And it's also like such a front and central view of where you come into the kitchen garden, so not ideal. Not ideal. I also need to order some more pegs to secure it down. At the moment I'm just using a large metal rod that I have for some reason. Oh yeah, it's not great. So any of your suggestions would be so very, very, very gratefully received. Taking probably a half-hour social media break, 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, I've just done 2 hours in the garden. You probably won't be able to tell any change, but what I did decide was to use some of my cloches to protect some more of the kale seedlings. We'll see if that does any magic. We've got a couple more kale under here. Yeah, I've asked my Instagram audience if they've got any ideas on how to do something more attractive with this, so I'm looking forward to seeing any feedback. Another cloche closed over here with some kale seedlings in it, and I took the lower leaves off, the one that's been ravaged by caterpillars. And then over here I stripped down the red Russian kale, which had been ravaged. That's in here. Stripped down some of the leaves and we'll see if it comes back to life. And I've planted a few more. That's an idea from the Chelsea Flower Show where they stack up the Claverton cloche. I've given all of the pumpkins and squash a really good water, and although it doesn't look perfectly tidy, I have de-weeded loads in here. I had a real go at getting rid of not all nasturtiums from this area, and some pumpkin vines that were just getting a little bit out of control. There's only so many pumpkins that we need. And then I need to harvest a few more courgettes from around here, but I also pulled up a few bean plants which I thought were coming to the end, and pulled up some horseradish as well. So now this pumpkin plant has got lots more air and lots more space. And I didn't realise, but pumpkin plants, it seems like they start to, like a strawberry does, start to root down from the leaf nodes. I didn't realise that they did that. So yeah, this is a really wild pumpkin bed now. I've had a good sweep up, it's looking tidy. Charlie has just shouted to say that dinner is ready. I think we've got some pasta. So yeah, I feel quite exhausted from a few great hours in the garden. Good morning, my darlings. It is the next day, it's Saturday, and Charlie is out the house until at least lunchtime today. He's doing a workout and having a bit of a boys' morning, and I am thrilled about it because I love to just potter about and do my own thing at my own pace, no one getting in the way. So it's going to be a lovely morning. I've just had a full pamper shower post Peloton, and I have a few empties which I thought I would share with you. A couple of things which I've really loved using over the last couple of months. I think these should all be available on Look Fantastic, so you should be able to use my discount code. The Aveeno Daily Moisturizing After Shower Mist. This has been fantastic throughout summer when you just want something really quick, really deeply moisturizing. It's very satisfying, the fact that it's a spray. I don't know if there's any left. Oh, okay, that was just like a squirt. But it's a really nice, almost, I would say it almost feels like a serum. It's absolutely gorgeous, with oat extract for improving the skin's natural balance. I would say that this makes your skin really glowy. And then Garnier Body Summer. This is their gradual tan lotion. And I just used the last of this just now because I want to maintain my summer tan as long as possible, and I get the deep version, and I feel that that is what gives me a natural looking tan without having to have like a dedicated fake tan time. So tanning for beginners if you want a really lovely natural tan. And then just a couple of hair products. Living Proof, I love so many things that this brand does. This is their clarifying detox shampoo. Because I hadn't washed my hair in a while, I thought let's use this. Helps to get rid of any buildup, and if your hair is starting to feel a bit heavy and it just needs like a reset button, this is fantastic for that. And then my Colour Fanatic hairspray, I use this or the Red Ken One United every single time I wash my hair. It's the one with 21 benefits, so it's very moisturising and detangling and deep conditioning. Also has a little bit of heat protection, helps prevent split ends, speeds up your blow dry time, and this just makes my hair so manageable. I've been using this and the Redken One United, which I'm pretty sure are the same thing. They're both owned by L'Oreal, so I think it's the same thing. I just get whichever one is on offer on Look Fantastic. Sometimes you can get a little duo bundle. Every time I wash my hair, I use this. It's the best, the best, the best, the best. Luckily, I have a full stock, so I don't need to repurchase. So I thought I'd just show you those empties. Now, I'm actually not going to have a proper breakfast this morning because I want to make a lovely roast tomato soup for lunch. I know I did that a few days ago, you'll have seen it in the last vlog. So I'm going to do like I'm going to try making almost like a chai smoothie for a mini breakfast. I'm thinking banana, dates, maple syrup. Would it be weird to put a little bit of pumpkin spice in my morning smoothie? I'm going to give it a go. Also, I have a random question to ask you guys. Are you like me in that you watch so many YouTube vlogs that you know the YouTube songs? I've been watching and loving so many videos that are people like decorating their house for fall, baking their pumpkin cookies, just like really basic, amazing, cozy comfort watches. And a lot of people use the same songs, and I use them too. A lot of us use a website called Epidemic Sound, and that's where a lot of the songs are from. But there are certain like autumn songs, you'll know it. There's one that's like starts with a guitar, and then I think the lines are, I woke up in the middle of the night. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, I have to stop. I'm sure you'll know the song, but does anyone else just find themselves knowing? It's like a theme tune. There's a puppy in here. There's a puppy in here. Puppies are not allowed upstairs in this house. He does like a darn it, I've been busted, but I know you're not going to tell me off wag. He like smunches his head down and then he does like a little fake wag because he knows that it's mummy and mummy will never tell puppy off. I love this creature more than is humanly possible to love a creature. Sometimes I just look at him and think, you live in my house, you should be in the wild, you're a wild animal. Another puppy! 2 little boys! The reason they're not allowed upstairs is because they are sausage dogs. It's not great for their back to go up and down stairs, so they don't sleep in bed with us. A lot of people ask me that. And yes, I call them puppies, even though Dexy, aka the most handsome boy in the world, he is 10 and Dickie is 8. Anyway, I'm gonna give the boys their breakfast, make my breakfast smoothie, and then it's going to be a lovely, relaxed morning. Smoothie was delicious. I will most definitely be recreating that. I made it perhaps a little bit thick, so I'd maybe do a dash more, maybe even some coffee or some almond milk in there. And it's perfect with the pumpkin spice. It was delicious. Definitely recommend giving that a go. I'm going to film a couple of little bits for TikTok and YouTube shorts of some new in autumn bits of my wardrobe, so I'll quickly also show you guys on the vlog. But first I'm going to pop some curls in my hair. I don't have time to wait for heatless curls today. I have got very long, actually not the thickest hair, but a lot of it, so hairstyling does take me forever. But I have a new hair straightener from Cloud9. This is actually on sale on Look Fantastic right now, even though it's brand new. It's from Cloud9 and it's called their contouring hair straightener, and you can see it's got a little bit of a dip to it, and also it vibrates, which apparently somehow the vibrations mean that you can get away with using a lower temperature on your hair, and because the iron is a little bit bigger, it's so much quicker if you've got long hair and a lot of it. So when I'm doing my hair, I take a section that's maybe about an inch big, clamp it down and then twist it, and you get a lovely little curl. And then round the back I do take bigger sections because the straightener is bigger. It can tolerate 2 or 3 inches of hair, like this much. tomatoes, onions, garlic and everything is in the 𝑭𝒂𝒕𝒖𝒓𝒆 roasting only for 25 minutes, and I've been faffing about since I put it in. So I'm going to really quickly show you a few new things to my wardrobe. I did place an H&M order. They just seem to have some really nice basics in at the moment, so I'm going to whiz through the pieces. First up is the top that I'm wearing today. It is incredibly comfortable. It's actually very stretchy, very elastic, and at this time of year when it's actually still a little bit warm and sunny, t-shirt style works really nicely, but the colour and the fact that it's knitwear is just perfection. Silhouette wise, it's got this sweet little peplum detail which I think is really pretty. The jeans I'm actually not 100% sure on. I think I do have nicer ones in my wardrobe. I did like the top detail with these high-waisted detail and the flap over the pockets, but yeah, they're just quite plain and normal, and I definitely think I've got nicer ones. Okay, here's the jeans in a white kind of creamy colour. Still think I've got ones which I prefer, such as my Suzanne Le Crop jeans, but the brown and the light colour is definitely a better combo in my opinion. Okay, opinions please on this jacket. It's kind of like a lightweight trench coat, but obviously single-breasted, not double-breasted, crops just mid-thigh level. I do love the colour, and I feel like if you are looking for a jacket to help you transition between the seasons, but you definitely don't want to spend a huge amount of money, this one gives the look of a much more expensive jacket, but it was really wonderfully affordable. I do love the little button detail. It's got a slight lining, not like a silky lining or anything, but that's represented in the price. So do I need it? No, I don't think I do, but do I think it is a great affordable piece for transitioning your wardrobe from summer to autumn when you do need that little extra layer? I think it's lovely, but I don't think that I personally need it. I love the colour of this. There's something... Does anyone else's dog howl like that, by the way? The warm tone of the brown of the top, I find it really flattering. Okay, these are getting returned, as are the blue jeans. I also ordered this jacket. It's got gold press studs and a zip closure as well, so great if you want to get really nice and warm. You can do up the zip. It's made from 100% recycled polyester lining and 63% recycled polyester outer. I really like this cord detail on the top as well. I think I much prefer this one. It's just got a little bit more to it. With the collar detail, I think that's really lovely. That contrast is really nice. This is fantastic for a countryside weekend, a transitional wardrobe, capsule wardrobe. I think this is really versatile and it's going to work with lots of different outfits. So yeah, there's something also really lovely about the gold buttons and the fact that there's the zip closure as well. This one definitely gets my vote. This next piece that I've tried on, there is something else going on under here, I promise, not just the same outfit. This is very humbling because I used to have a white knitted skirt and I used to think it was great, I used to love it, but there's something about this one that's really just accentuating my hips and it's just not very flattering, I feel. It's, you know, it's a nice closeness, tightness on the bum, it's quite flattering there, but I think where it goes in here, it's just making me a little bit too hourglass mermaidy, and I'm not sure that it's that flattering, so don't know what's going on here, but this one's going to get returned as well. Okay, so I've popped on a knitted t-shirt, which is always a winner in my eyes. I find them so versatile, and this one has got a really nice kind of boxiness and oversizedness to the silhouette. And then trouser-wise, I actually think these are such a versatile piece for an autumn wardrobe. They're wide leg, they've got pleats down the middle, which just smartens them up a little bit. And the colour, I think, is really lovely. Almost like a mushroomy, greeny brown, which I think is really nice. A nice switch up if you normally wear like a camel colour or a black trouser. Great workwear piece at a really good price. They are quite long on me, so I'll probably have to shorten them a bit. But yeah, I think these are a really versatile autumn-winter wardrobe edition. I was wearing this t-shirt yesterday, so you guys have already seen it, but I thought it looked really nice tucked into these trousers as well, just as a very, very similar option. If you were to choose between the two t-shirts, I would say this one is my favourite because it has got the cable knit design on it, which makes it just that little bit different. I think it's a really elegant look. I definitely think it looks like a more premium and expensive piece. I can't talk about autumn wardrobe essentials without talking about roll necks. I love a roll neck, and H&M, they are doing them very plain, simple, just classic pieces for your wardrobe. This one, I would say, it's actually a little bit oversized. I prefer my Lily Silk one, but the Lily Silk ones are far more expensive. Depends on your budget. If you just want to tick the box and have one in your wardrobe, then these are. They feel lovely and soft. I would say you probably want to size down, because personally I think they're more flattering when they fit to the body really, really nicely. I've got it in this colour and a lovely kind of toffee colour, which I'll show you next. So this is the deeper toffee colour. Excuse me, I'm just tucking it into the trousers, and I definitely prefer this. There's something a lot richer and warmer, and it just feels it feels better quality. I think I will leave the sizes on the screen here, what I did for the white one and for this one, because this one feels like it fits me so much better. I think that was thunder. I think we might be in for a storm this afternoon. Much prefer this one. It feels better quality, even though it's the same piece but in a different colour. I think maybe the white one was just a little bit sheer, but this is so much better, and again, just a really nice, very useful staple in an autumn wardrobe. So this one will be kept, the white one will be returned. Okay, I love the colour of this blouse. It's like a very milky tea or a light toffee camel colour, and I think a bow detail blouse is so lovely at this time of year. Again, for workwear outfits with high-waisted cream coloured jeans, that could be really lovely as well. The silhouette is really, really nice with the smarter kind of cuff detail on the sleeves. I do think it needs a little slip underneath because it's quite sheer, or you could wear a really beautiful lacy detailed bra if you want to make something out of it. Sheer is something that's very on trend this autumn winter, but the colour, the silhouette, the fabric, the bow detail, this one is definitely a winner. I thought that this shirt would look really nice in a light colour, so I also picked it up in the creamy white colour. Again, it could probably do with something underneath it just so that it's not quite so sheer, although it doesn't look too bad in this light. These I think are really beautiful pieces that you'll wear a lot for workwear, for just really cute outfits with a, oh my gosh, with a tweed tartan skirt. That would be absolutely adorable. I'm thinking about my corduroy burgundy skirt that I got from last year as well. With this, I think that would be such a lovely outfit. I'm also on the lookout for a cute little gilet, almost like a tan embroidered Sherpery gilet. So if anyone sees anything, please let me know. I think that would look so sweet over this. But again, the colour combination, the light and the dark, I think this works really, really nicely. Now I need to do the next step of my soup. The Alexa has just gone off, so let's go and transfer the roasted bits and bobs onto the hob for the next stage. I'm very glad I put on the next outfit for that, because I don't think anyone should go anywhere near tomato soup wearing a white shirt. That is asking for trouble. This feels a little bit witchy. It's a really nice colour, but I think it's the sleeves are giving Dumbledore. We've got a ruffle. There's just something a little bit like, I feel like I should be going down to the woods making my elderberry elixir. Maybe I am a witch. Actually, the material feels quite cheap. Soz. Yeah, looks nice here, and I'm going to investigate this colour further because I think the colour's really lovely, but the whole style is sadly not right for me. I tried something a little bit rogue, but I don't think it's paid off. Burgundy red winey coloured trousers. They are nice for workwear, or even if you have to wear something smart. I don't feel like I need these in my wardrobe, but if you are a fan of smart trousers, I've worn the cable knit t-shirt again to tuck into them. I think this is going to be really versatile, but the trousers I'm just not too sure on. I don't think they're very me. And I tried again with another of the knitted skirts, this time in this kind of biscuity colour, but again it's just too hippie. I think I'm trying really hard to make these work like they used to, but times have changed. It is a nice material, and if you are pretty straight up and down, I think it could be quite flashy on you. I am not, so yeah, this is not going to be a keeper. I'm showing you one other thing, which is also not a keeper. I guess this must have looked really nice on the website, but I think that the colour and the material is not that lovely, so I'm not even going to try this on. So would it be useful in these videos, especially with brands like H&M, if I show you the actual pieces that I'm keeping from the haul? So obviously this t-shirt I'm keeping. This is going to go back. Oh, I didn't try this on and now I just can't be bothered, I'm sorry, but I got a roll neck t-shirt which I will be keeping. This is my keep pile. Obviously the peplum top, I was wearing that earlier today. I will take the swing tag out. The dark brown of the roll necks, I think that'll be really versatile, really useful. And then the barn style jacket. Those are the only pieces from this little haul that I'm going to be keeping. Everything else is going to get returned. Now, without further ado, it's off with a white top and back to finish my tomato soup. Because it's been cooking low and slow, those flavours should be absolutely incredible. Reached the stage of the very important taste test. I just added in, I had a Tupperware in the fridge with the remainder of my pumpkin puree from a few of the recipes I've been doing lately, so I just added that in as well. There's also courgette in here, so it's really a mixed veg soup, and then I just add a little bit of cream in. Ooh, it's amazing how the chili peppers that I've grown in the greenhouse, they are so strong. They make it so hot and spicy, which is amazing. That I would say is nearly ready, so we're just waiting for the croutons. And before I put it away, I want to give a shout out to this. If you do lots of nice hearty recipes, the River Cottage, we get this stuff from Riverford when we do our boxes. They do the most amazing little stock jars. So they've got this one and then a garlicky one as well. This is the umami vegetable stock. You just put a teaspoon in with boiling water and it's proper veggies. You don't need to use stock cubes, which I think we all know now are really not good for you. So yeah, definitely recommend those. And I think we do have a £5 off code for Riverford, I think. If we do, I'll leave that linked down below. Okay, let's pop the lid on. Well, that soup was absolutely delicious. I didn't quite realise quite how much I was making, so I've got a little bottle to take over to my mum, and this will be my lunch for the next couple of days, which is perfect. I love when you can make en masse. It would have been enough to feed maybe 5 people, that quantity. So the next random little thing I need to do today, I'm going to let you guys guess. Here are some clues. I've never done this before. A few of you guys commented on the last video that you can ripen tomatoes. These are not ripe, but you might have seen yesterday when I was clearing the space for the kale, I had to take down loads of really wild tomatoes. So I've got loads of not quite ripe tomatoes. Apparently, if you store them room temperature in a paper bag with an ethylene producing fruit such as a banana, then they will quickly ripen. I've never done this before. It sounds like witchcraft, but let's give it a go. So I'm going to find all of my ripe tomatoes and pop them in these bags. So this is one of the toppings that you saw me sprinkle on the soup. This is the Zoe Daily 30, and it's basically seeds, and not just seeds, it's loads and loads of different things, over 30 different things. Really, really high in fiber, crunchy, I think really delicious, and super good for you. It's a really nice topper on soups and salads and pasta dishes. Avocado toast, eggs, things like that. So I've just done a little top up. Well, it's just suddenly got really sunny and warmed up. So instead of baking inside this afternoon, which was the original plan, I am just going to do another couple of hours of pottering in the garden. The first thing that I want to do is replace the fresh flowers in the house and do some fresh flowers for my mum as well. The dahlias are in full bloom, the anemones are in full bloom, the hydrangeas also look really good in some flower displays. So that's what I'm going to do for the next couple of hours. We've got dinner out this evening with 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, Charlie's brother. That's just in our nearby town, so that's going to be a really nice way to spend the evening. So I'm just gonna reward myself. I have been doing so many chores in between the clips that I've been showing you. I've done so many loads of washing, loads of cleaning and tidying. So yeah, now is the time to just chill out and spend some time in the garden. Do you know what I actually never ever do, and I don't think I have done this entire summer, is actually just sit outside and enjoy the garden? Isn't that tragic? I spend so long gardening and I never really just sit and enjoy it. So it's 20 to 4 right now. Excuse my 𝑽𝒊𝒅𝒆 on the 𝑭𝒂𝒐. I gave them a little bit of a wash because they had some black marks on the toe. Still a bit of a mark there. Didn't do a very good job, did I? So I'm just drying them on the 𝑭𝒂𝒐. But yeah, it's 20 to 4, which means the church bells will chime at 4 o'clock. So you know what? I'm just gonna sit down with a magazine and the rest of my coffee and read and chill for 20 minutes. Bliss. I just came into the kitchen to drop off the dahlias and listen to what the Alexa is playing. Let me know if you know what song this is. Tell me why, even 8 months later, this song just gives me goosebumps. If you know, you know. Okay, a quick makeup top up and outfit change, and we're heading out for dinner. It feels summery. I know we're all in the autumn mode, but it's been a really nice afternoon. So I've popped on a dress that I feel like I didn't get enough wear out of this summer. It's a really lovely one from 𝑚. I can't wait to see what 𝑚 are going to do this autumn. I always love their collections so much. It's got a beautiful smocked bodice and long skirt. My beautiful bag, and I don't think I'll probably wear this again this year, which is tragic because it's very summery, but this was probably my favorite investment of the summer. Also, if you watched the last vlog, you might have seen that I picked up these 2 hair bows from 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, and I said I was going to give away the blue one. Well, it turns out it matches this dress perfectly, but I did promise to give one away, so I'm going to buy another pack and you'll receive both. Head to the last vlog if you're wondering what on earth I'm talking about. Heading to a new Italian restaurant in our nearby town, so let's go.